Good morning, everybody. We have a lower trade in the grain markets here early on Monday morning. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. March corn futures down 3 1/4 at 434 1/4. January soybeans down 1 at 12.19. March Chicago wheat down 8 cents at $6 1/4. March Kansas City wheat down 7.5 at 561 3/4. March spring wheat down 4.5 cents at 564. Quite a bit of volatility in the overnight trade. The soybean market surged to new highs at one point. It is back lower. The corn market also posted some fresh highs overnight. It is back lower. This is the story this morning. There is concern regarding a new strain of COVID in the UK that has pressured all sorts of markets. The Dow Jones is down about 500 points as I speak here. Crude oil's down $2. A lot of the commodities got hit last night. I think there's some renewed concern here. This new COVID strain is said to be more than 70% more transmissible than the original, and we're already seeing additional lockdowns and travel restrictions put into place. Countries in the EU, as well as Israel, Canada, and potentially Hong Kong, have banned all arriving flights from the UK as of this morning. So this is additional COVID risk here. And you think about it in context of our grain markets, what's the COVID risk? The COVID risk is ethanol and just overall reduced demand, I guess. But ethanol is the big one. We know that in regard to ethanol, gasoline demand is already really struggling. We know that forward ethanol productions, even ahead of this story, are very poor. So do they get worse? Is this something that eventually makes its way into the U.S. and results in a second or even worse strain, rather, of COVID? Are we to take these statistics at face value that this new strain is 70% more transmissible? I really don't know, but the market seemed to be in kind of a risk-off mode here today. And granted, grand scheme of things, 500 points off the Dow, 70 points off the S&P, 3 cents off corn is nothing in the grand scheme of things. But I suppose this is something that could turn into a bigger deal as the holidays approach. And this is certainly the biggest story this morning, I think. U.S. Congress has reached a deal on a COVID aid package and will vote today. Congressional leaders will vote on a $900 billion package to provide new aid in the coming months. This would be the second largest stimulus in U.S. history, behind only the $2.3 trillion in aid that was approved in March. When you think about the amount of government stimulus that's been introduced here, it's really phenomenal. You know, back in 2008, the bank bailout I think was $850 billion, and we're going to be close to $3 trillion in this round since March, which is really phenomenal when you think about it. The new package is going to include $600 direct payments to individuals, would also include billions for small businesses, food assistance, vaccine distribution, transit, and healthcare. The bill also extends a moratorium on foreclosures and provides more rental aid. President Trump signed a one-day spending bill to keep the government open through today, and they're going to try to get this thing signed later today, I suppose. Fund traders were heavy buyers of corn, soybeans, and wheat late last week. At Friday's close, it was estimated that funds were net long a hefty 283,000 contracts of corn, 214,000 contracts of soybeans, and a modest 6,000 contracts of SRW wheat. So we've got the end of the year coming up. We've seen no signs of profit taking or anything like that. To this point, maybe you could see a little bit of that here today, depending on what happens in the outside markets and how worried the markets are about this new COVID strain, I suppose. Rainfall is going to be quite a bit more active across Brazil during the next 7 days. A lot of your key soybean growing areas will see anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain over the next 7 days, which is near normal for most of the country. It should be noted that southern areas will be drier compared to key central and northern areas. Forecasts for the second week are also suggesting near normal rainfall. So we are coming up on essentially what should be 2 weeks here of close to normal rainfall for most of Brazil, which is something we have not seen so far during the growing season. Argentina is going to be dry this week. They will see some rains return in the second week out, 7 to 14 day period. China's hog herd is recovering. According to Chinese government data, the country's pig herd was up 29.8% in November versus the same month last year. Sow herd up 31.2%. Pork prices in China have fallen to their lowest levels of the year as a result of the recovery, and they've still got some work to do. And this is, of course, all a recovery from African swine fever, which at one point it was estimated killed 40 to 50% of the hogs in China, and the recovery there is ultimately a positive for demand for products like soybeans and corn when you look forward. January grain options expire on Thursday. Remember, you take a look at any remaining open positions there. Our grain markets close early on Thursday at 12:05 Central Time, and then we're closed Friday. We'll be back at it on Sunday night. Cattle market, we had a cattle on feed report on Friday. I would call it totally neutral and uneventful. Cattle on feed, as expected, at 100%. Placements as expected for the most part at 91. Marketings as expected at 98. Cash cattle was 107 to 108 on Friday. The Dow's down about 500 points ahead of the cash open. The S&P's down 65. U.S. dollar is sharply higher, had been even more, was even higher than our current levels here at one point overnight. Crude oil down to $1.78 or $1.87 in the February WTI, 47.37. Gold's down just a little bit. If you'd like some more information from me, as always, you can visit my website. It is www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan here in the upper right-hand corner. If you would like to know when, how, and specifically I am pricing corn, soybeans, and wheat throughout the year, check out my subscription service. It's $49 a month. I'll send you my email every morning at 6:30 Central Time, and my text message service. I'll let you know exactly what I'm doing. You can cancel it at any time. This is billed to your credit card. No fee, no obligation. You don't need to have a trading account. Everyone have a great day today. I will talk to you same time tomorrow.